What if I told you that there's a house, abandoned, forgotten, and cursed, hidden deep in the woods, a place where the walls seem to breathe, the shadows twist like living things, and anyone who steps inside vanishes? Tonight, a group of friends are about to find out what happens when curiosity leads them into the darkness. But once they cross that threshold, there's no turning back. The house has waited for them, and it won't let them leave. On a stormy night in the middle of nowhere, a group of friends, Liam, Maria, Sarah, and David, dare to enter an abandoned house deep in the woods. With a dark history that no one dares speak of, they don't know what awaits them. The wind howls, and as Liam knocks on the heavy door, it creaks open on its own, as though inviting them in. "All right, let's get this over with," Liam jokes, but his voice cracks, betraying his unease. Maria, ever the skeptic, rolls her eyes. "You're all ridiculous. There's nothing here." As the door slams behind them, they're plunged into darkness. The musty air smells of rot and decay. The house feels alive, as if it's been waiting for them. A shiver runs down Sarah's spine, but she pushes it away. "Just the wind," she whispers, her voice unsure. But deep down, something feels terribly wrong. The group starts to explore, each room darker, more oppressive than the last. Furniture draped in sheets, their edges torn with age, gives the place an unsettling feel. Yet, the most unnerving thing is the silence. No light, no sounds, just a sense of being watched. Maria enters a room at the end of the hallway. Her flashlight flickers, casting eerie, shifting shadows. As she moves forward, the lights of the others seem to fade, one by one. She calls out, "Liam! David?" But the silence stretches too long, and the atmosphere grows thicker, more suffocating. Then a low growl echoes in the house. Not animal, not human, but something in between. The floor shakes slightly. The walls seem to breathe. Maria freezes, her heart pounding, realizing she's not alone anymore. Elsewhere, Sarah and David move down a narrow hallway. Sarah insists they stick together, but David is already staring at something strange, an old book lying open on the floor. As he flips through its pages, strange symbols and words he can't comprehend stare back at him. "This is not normal," he murmurs. A cold breeze brushes past him, and then a whisper, "Leave, while you still can." David drops the book, his hands trembling. "Did you hear that?" he asks, panic creeping into his voice. Sarah nods, pale with fear, clutching the wall for support. "It was right next to me." Suddenly, a scream rips through the silence. "Liam!" The sound is terrifying, distant, but unmistakable. "Liam!" Sarah cries, but there's no response, only the frantic echo of footsteps, growing more desperate with every second. The group races towards the sound, hearts pounding. The house seems to stretch, twisting and turning, impossible to navigate. They find Liam, but he's not the same. His eyes are wide, locked in terror, his mouth moving but producing no sound. He points toward the corner of the room, his hand shaking. In the corner, the shadows twist and writhe, taking on a life of their own. It's as if something monstrous, ancient, is forming in the dark. The growl from earlier returns, louder now, guttural, inhuman. Maria bursts into the room, eyes wide with fear. "We need to get out! Now!" she screams. but as she speaks, the door slams shut, trapping them inside. The temperature drops drastically, their breath visible in the freezing air. The shadows stretch out, crawling toward them, as if they want to drag them into the darkness. Panic sets in. Sarah tries to break down the door, but it won't budge. David's voice shakes as he screams for help, but no one answers. They're alone, completely alone, trapped in the grip of the house, with whatever watches them from the shadows. Liam turns toward the group, his voice barely above a whisper. "We're not going to make it, are we?" His face is ghostly pale, his eyes wide with terror. Maria's tears stream down her face as she shakes her head. "No, we should never have come here." Suddenly, the floor beneath them shifts, and they all stumble. The walls seem to close in, the ceiling lowering. The house itself is alive, breathing, preparing to consume them. Then, a voice, deep and cold, echoes through the room. "Welcome to your grave." The shadows surge toward them, engulfing everything in their path. The last thing they hear is their own screams, swallowed up by the darkness. The house, as it has done countless times before, waits for the next group of fools to enter. Because, in the end, it never truly lets anyone leave.